So when we're asked to find an average rate of change on an equation, the first thing I want to pop in your brain when you see average rate of change is slope. The average rate of change is slope, it's just slope between two dots. And we're going to use the slope formula. So slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. But if you look at what you're given, they give you an interval. So our interval here, it has us starting at -9 and then finishing at 1. Essentially, that's your x1, x2. And so our job is to use the function information up here to determine what y outputs go with these x's. So what I need is to have a corresponding y1 and a corresponding y2. To get those, I need g of -9 to get my y1. To get my y2, I need g of 1. And that'll produce the values that I need so that I actually can use the slope formula. So the whole thing is you're given an interval. The interval just tells you your x1, x2. And they're basically asking us to find the y values. So to do that, I'm going to show us how to use Desmos to have success on finding the y heights. So the easiest way through this is you just go ahead and go to Desmos and you type, since we're doing g function, we're going to say g of x and then equals exactly what we have, which is x squared plus 10x plus 23. So x squared plus 10x plus 23. And it graphed it for us, but the graph isn't the point. The point is what we're going to do is find g of -9 and g of 1. So what's really cool about Desmos is we can actually type that and say g of -9 and g of 1. And it tells us these values. Now what these values are is this is my y2 and this is my y1. So now this was, and that's because this was my x1 inside there, and this is my x2. So what I just did was I found two coordinates. I found -9, 14 as my first coordinate, my first point, and I found 1, 34. The whole point of this problem is for me to find the rate of change that we can't see on the graph over here. If I zoomed it out, you actually would be able to, let's do that real quick. So if I was to zoom it out, oops, that got weird. If I was to zoom it out, I guess I can't zoom it out. Come on, click. There we go. At -9, so -9 somewhere in here, and then to 14, I can't even get close. It'd be way up there. It just shoots way off. I'm sorry. So it's going to shoot way up to see it. To 1. I'm sorry. No, I was fine. To 1. Yeah, right here. So basically, what we're doing is we're finding the slope between these two dots. That's what we're doing. So to find it, we just use the slope formula to find the average rate of change. And that's going to be y2, which is 34, minus y1, which is 14, over x2, which is 1, minus x1, which is -9. And again, the naming of those dots, this is my x1, y1. This is my x2, y2 that I put into the slope formula. And then my job is to evaluate that and find out what it actually is. And you can continue to use Desmos here to find that. You can actually type that in here. Apparently my writing was going to get messy there. Let's see if I can't erase that. Anyway, so we get 34 minus 14. Now, the only issue that you're going to have with Desmos is it won't reduce fractions for you, so I'm going to actually do them separately and do 1 minus -9. And so this one would have worked out fine because it's going to be 20 divided by 10. So the answer is 2. But if it was something different like 3 over 2, it would give you the decimal. And so make sure you do them separately so you can actually see what the result is. So my whole answer over here was 2 because it was 20 over 10.